by the gods, Cameramendi.
Behind you.
There is madness in St. Louis. Yes, madness here, Cameramendi.
Are you outside?
No, can you hear me?
I can hear you. There's just some weird noise and
there are strange things going on everywhere here.
Okay.
I mean, the Feyari of St. Louis are in grave danger, and it somehow is involved with the Tums building. Yes, the people who make the heartburn medicine. Yes, there's something going on. It's very strange, Cameramendi. Ms. Goo and I are attempting to ferret out whatever is happening, but we have not been able to discover it yet.
I mean, it sounds intense. Sounds intense, dude. So
it's incredibly intense. There are trolls, yes, trolls and ogres, yes, and other things. And
there's like a weird. There's a weird noise coming from your end. There's no wind.
Does it sound like?
It sounds like wind. And
yes,
your hair is blowing like actively.
There is wind right above me. I don't know. I was going to
try moving your.
I was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Try moving.
Try shifting the computer just a little bit.
Hold on, I will shift.
It's not quite catching.
I will shift to another locality. Yes. I'm sure it was some fey magic.
Oh, 100% fey magic.
How is this? Is this better?
Yes.
Can you still hear the wind?
No, it's much better. Okay,
yes,
no more
probably
wind.
some gust of wind spell being cast by some feyari.
Absolutely.
And half the people probably listening today don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
I did pull it. We can go talk about it.
Well, I guess we could. I put up another one today because we actually spoke. Ms. Goo did with a feyari named Glaadha. Yes. And we have more information. So if you did pull that one is actually up this morning. I just put it up a little while ago.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I did. So I guess we'll find out. So
oh my God. Okay. Well, you're in bad order. You're in the wrong order. But this is the snug. People do not know about this. But we Ms. Goo and I noticed this strange happenings here in St. Louis when we arrived, and we began to look around and try to determine what the mysteries were. Well, we encountered some things that we were uncomfortable with, and so we cast invisibility barriers upon ourselves. And it is a good thing we did, because coming right up in the park, right in near the botanical gardens, botanical gardens, right near the botanical gardens, was a snugglewumper. A huge snugglewumper. And most people do not know, but snugglewumpers have terrible flatulence. So even though it could not see us, we could still smell it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
A snugglewumper. Is there a snugglewumper in Monty Python's Holy Grail? But this was the first thing that happened. So we went to this thing called the Arch.
The Arch. Okay. The Arch. Okay.
So we went to this thing called the Arch, and we took a photograph. But we did not really notice until we checked the photo later that there was a dragon flying.
See, I'm gonna play a BS card on that. Because why, if you did not notice, is your mouth like?
Because I'm always like that in every picture.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I was impressed with the Arch.
Okay, the Arch. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so it wasn't the dragon flying above you. It was the Arch. Okay.
No, look, Ms. Goo didn't know. She was just happy smiling.
Yes, she looks adorable. I love it.
So then later we were down walking around the Arches Park. Okay. And we happened to note we passed through this strange barrier, and we found ourselves in this park where these evil trees attempted to accost us.
Oh!
It was terrible. It was terrible, Cameron.
That is so horrifying.
Fortunately,
lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Fortunately, Cameramendi, Ms. Goo was ready with her fireball.
Oh, of course. Ms. Goo's always...
She only marginally singed my beard on the right side.
Okay.
Yes, and this is where we discovered it, Cameramendi. We were downtown, and of course, none of this is visible except through our special cameras. You understand this, Cameramendi, right?
Oh, yeah. It's like the haunted mansion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the hell of it, because it was the Tums building, and I thought it was so fascinating, I took a picture of the Tums building. And that is when I discovered that the entire place is infested with feyari, infested with not the good feyari, The bad ones.
So is it my understanding that you think that there's a conspiracy theory that Tums both creates heartburn and then cures it, and therefore just keeps the cycle going and keeps people producing?
Indeed.
And that's the fairy magic. Okay.
It is Tums addiction, Cameron.
Yes, naturally.
Everyone in St. Louis is addicted to Tums, but we think they're and it's not just heartburn; it's also gassy tummy, right? You get the gas, right? And so the damn place stinks like farts.
I don't think that the people from St. Louis are going to love that you just said that, but okay.
Listen, the St. Louis people don't even notice because it's so stinky. They're just used to it by now.
Hashtag don't come for me. This was not me. This is not me. He said it.
So anyway, so this was the first thing that happened, though. This was the first thing. We were at the arch. Well, this was actually the second thing that happened, but we didn't know the dragon was flying
naturally,
right? So
no
we
idea.
went to the arch, and as we went to the arch, I took this picture with the camera of Miss Goo pointing at the arch. And as I did it, some letters appeared above the arch. And it says, "Here be the Fae. Please, Miss Goo, help us." And then in the camera, of course, all the Fae reappeared and all of that stuff. But only the letters were visible to Miss Goo.
Naturally.
So this is how we began our investigations, Cameron. And there is more to come.
Okay.
We have information. We're the botanical gardens. Oh, yes, this little character, when we were out in the Arches Park, this little character he's got a foul little mouth, and he said some dirty things to Miss Goo, so I punched him right in the nose. Yes, I did. Punched him right in the nose.
I think we all believe you. We all believe
he
that
ran away
happened.
screaming, "I'll get you, Alphinius! I'll get you, you bastard!"
If you were a wizard, or if you are a wizard, why don't you cast a spell instead of punching him?
Well, I didn't want to kill the poor little thing.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
Yes.
Foul mouth doesn't mean that, you
correct. There's degrees of punishment for bad behavior, Cameron.
I got you.
You have a foul mouth, and I don't kill you.
I don't say dirty things to Miss Goo, so.
Well, I appreciate that. That's good. That's very, very kind of you.
Anyway, oh my goodness.
Anyway, for the people, if there's like anybody still watching.
I mean, you've only gained viewers, so congratulations. Your adventures are. Oh, we have some questions.
Oh, I'm ready.
Is that a confession to third-degree assault?
Of course, Patrick would ask those questions.
Yes. Was go to Alphinius there too?
No, because Chet Minton has to send me one without a background.
I have one. I have a giant one in the office.
No, I need an image without a background.
Oh, okay. I'll let Chet know.
I'm sure there's a way it could appear in the camera.
I don't know, because I feel like Alphinius Goat is you. So
no,
I mean, I don't know if that the two of you.
Alphinius Goat, but I am the goat.
I think that I think the backstory, if I'm remembering correctly, was at one point in time you were turned into a goat.
Yes, there's all kinds of rumors about this, camera, Mandy. There's also rumors that I like snails. This is not true either.
I don't think there's any rumors that you like snails. I think there's a rumor that you think that you can defeat the snail in a fair election.
Absolutely. The election is over.
Okay.
What's her name? One. Okay, yes, this is fun. All right, you go take over, camera.
Okay.
I hope everybody's having a great morning. It's great to see you all. Hello.
Yes, welcome. Welcome. Okay, so this is important. This is a caption contest announcement. So our friend Amber watched the show last week, and then she did what you suggested, which was took the screenshots of these two. Hold on. I think I put them. Oh, there's another, but yes. So this screenshot and this screenshot, and then she put little templates. So this is all Amber who did all this.
So go back to Amber's because go back to Amber's because this was funny. Go back to Amber's.
Oh, this one's David's.
No, go back to Amber's. The first one you showed.
This one is Amber's.
I must tell you, I laughed out loud. I laughed out loud.
Me too. These screenshots are great, and we've been getting entries, and they're all fantastic. I'm loving them. So anyway, here's the deal. We're gonna do a caption contest that's gonna end on Thursday. In order to enter, you have to you can do either and. Or whatever. So you can post a meme in the Discord. You can post a meme on this thread Some people have been emailing us them because we sent it out in an email yesterday, and people just attach it to their emails. So I will count those and make sure to post them in the den so everyone can see them. But yeah, basically we're gonna have 3 winners. We're gonna draw a winner.
Actually, we're gonna have 4. We're gonna have 4, Camera Mandy.
Really?
Because Amber wins no matter what.
Well, yes, but Amber is also creating the prize thing. So
we got to do something.
We'll send Amber.
Amber's gonna
we will
win
send
something.
Amber something special. I'll get to the prize in just a second. So Amber gets to pick a winner. We're gonna pick a winner, and then we're gonna draw a winner, and then we'll send Amber something because this was just too good. So this was one that David did. I will drop the greatest F-bomb. Funicular. I think that's how you say it. Funicular. I had to Google what it was. I had no idea. I would never drop that F-bomb because I don't know. And then you go, oh yeah. Is it Thaco or Thaco? Thaco. Anyway, this is too good. So yes, please enter. Let me show you the prize. So Amber hand crochets these like little dragon scale dice bags. And so she's making 3 of them in gooey green, and then she's going to send them to me, and then I'm going to stuff them full of little gooey things around the office, and then I'm going to send those off to the 3 winners. And so it's a really fun, unique prize. So
handmade and wonderful. And
I'm just saying,
Amber is very talented.
Yes, Amber, thank you. And this whole thing has been great. So anyway, so go join the caption contest. It's really easy. You don't have to use the templates if you don't have like a Photoshop program or whatever. You can just type in your caption, and I'll have like one of our designers throw them all in for when we do our voting and stuff like that. So anyway, it's too good. It's too good. I just love it so much. So thank you, Amber. This made my day. This made me laugh out loud. So all right. Anyway, you want to do social media?
We can do that if you want to. Yeah, and then we're gonna do a fun talk today. Yes.
Oh yes, about puzzles, about how to do puzzles.
Puzzles for your
how
game.
to write.
And you got some of our puzzles, right?
I grabbed 2 puzzles from What Gooey Webs We Weave, and then I also have something to talk about in terms of a campaign that I am playing called The Tomb of Annihilation.
Marvelous.
That was interesting.
Yes. So also I will give some hints about puzzles too, about how to use them and how to make them work better.
Well, that's what we want. That's what we want. That's the whole idea of this discussion.
But this was fun. Fleegan.
Yes. But Laura posted this yesterday, and it just so happened Laura also happens to be our community shout out for the week. So who are you talking to?
Ms. Goo.
Oh, not a fairy.
She just had another discussion with Zyathé. So you'll have to pull that before we end the stream. You have to pull that because it's very important. There's some very important information. But anyway, keep going. Because Laura got our award, and anyway, keep going.
Well, it's not an award. It's just a shout out. You don't get anything for it except for
it's a major
acclaim
award,
and love and yeah. Anyway, Laura is amazing. If you come to Genghis Khan, you can meet Laura, and she's one of the red shirts for Donnie and Andrea, and just a fabulous human being, friendly. She made these little snail, like what I'm holding here.
So good.
Yeah, I have this in my studio still. Just a fun part of the community, someone who welcomes you. Like she's in the chat all the time here. She's in the den. She's in the Discord. She's fabulous and just an amazing asset to our community, and we're very grateful to have her. So, yeah. So
she is awesome, and we're going to keep doing these shout outs. We think folks are liking them, and so if you think you're somebody who deserves a shout out, it's pretty likely you're going to get one.
Yes, but we have a lot of people, so you have to.
Yeah, it might be
down the road. Yeah, and this is in no particular order, just to be very clear. Do you remember
December, Camera Mandy?
Do I remember December?
Don't worry, you have to be old to remember the Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Continue.
Do you remember?
It's September, and then later they said, December, and then they would remember September, right? So
okay. Okay, anyway.
But yes, you were on the right track.
Well, yes. I mean, it is a song that is played, I think, on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at
It is. You're right.
So, yeah, and it's fun. I think I've had it before. So, anyway, that's a tangent. Okay. Alan posted stats for his character. So one thing we do not do is when we have NPCs in our world, we do not stat them because they need to be flexible for whatever level, especially like at Darkened Haven, for instance. They need to be flexible at whatever level you're playing Darkened Haven at, because Darkened Haven can be played level 1 or can be played level 20. But Alan went ahead, this is Alan's character Cassius, and put together stats for his character and posted them in the den. So if you're interested,
and Alan's character Cassius is appearing in some adventures here coming soon. Yes, very soon.
Yes. So anyway, so check it out. Katie has been doing these great illustrations in, I don't remember what program it is. She posted it, but you can watch her. She does like a little video of how she illustrates, and it's really interesting. So
yeah, and she's been showing time lapse so you can see how it goes forward. I mean, it's very cool. Very cool and beautiful work.
Yes.
This is the kind of stuff I love. And all you creators out there, don't be afraid to post.
Yeah, we love it. We love
seeing creative posts. And then there's this one.
This came up a few times this week, and it was actually kind of funny because it came up in my game as well. So Dory sent it to me like separately. So I actually saw this like 4 times this week. I'm a wizard. I practice duck magic. You mean dark magic? No. So
I said
there should be an evil duck.
I said duck magic is just quackery, Cameramandy.
Well, David also said this is quackery in his caption. So I guess it's not that unique, is it?
No. I think he stole it from me after I got it the first time. Because David wasn't the first one to put this up, just to be clear.
Yeah, they came up a few times. So,
it was funny.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have done a spider warning. Spider warning. There's a very cute spider coming up.
Spider.
Look at this thing. That's crazy. Am I right?
Yeah, well, it looks like it's a spider, right? It's clearly a spider, but it looks like it's a little brown bunny rabbit.
It's adorable.
It's nose.
The cutest freaking spider. Yeah, little bunny spider. So Charity says, watch out for the weird fae bunnies. So you should do this, or I'm sorry, I'm sure you'll run across one of these in St. Louis, certainly.
Oh, for sure, Cameron.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you send it to me without a background?
Okay. Sounds good. That's what I'm going to spend my Saturday doing. So, yeah. Yeah, it's very cute. Very cute.
We actually have some very interesting shots at the botanical gardens. Where we found some more things. So we'll report more on that later.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so very important. Tomorrow is a big day for Gen Con because the game schedule drops. It goes public, so you can waitlist the games that you want to play. Also, on a Gen Con note, we got our booth assignment, and so we are booth 1843, and like it's kind of cool because like I think this is where most people enter, that first day. So they're gonna shoot right down there. They're gonna see our giant cube and come straight to our booth. That's my theory. So,
well, I mean, it's going to be fun and exciting, and we're looking forward to it. And tons of gooey people, and we got the suites. In fact, you should remind everybody about that. I know you talked about it a little bit last week, but you should tell everybody about it.
Well, I don't think did we have the news last week? So
oh, you're right. We didn't because it was during the week. So we didn't even tell everybody.
No, Gen Con did an amazing thing for us, and I'm not going to go into all the behind the scenes stuff, but they really came through for us. They got us 3 suites in the stadium. I love Gen Con. I love the staff there. They're incredible, and they really treat us just like so well. And so we're going to have a huge game room, first off, that we're going to be running stuff through all weekend long. So we have, I don't know, thousands of hours of playtime. Or player time that's going to be going on in there. And then on top of that, they gave us 3 private suites so we can run premium games upstairs in like a nice quiet environment. And so I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. So
well, everything got just blown up.
Well, let's not go into too much of the behind the scenes stuff that we're not allowed to talk about, Kim.
Okay.
Alphinius. Yeah, sorry.
Everyone knows that
Wizards came.
Wizards came. Everyone knows that. That's what I was going to say. That's what changed everything is because they hadn't planned on it, and then Wizards, wants to take like the whole stadium. It's going to be amazing. I mean, the place Gen Con will never have been so massive. I mean, I
like the idea that they're, as far as we know, this is the idea behind it, is that a lot of the TTRPGs are going to be in the stadium. So a lot of the TTRPGers are going to be pushed over to the stadium with like. Loads of D&D going on. So anyway.
I mean, and I gotta say, again, there's more and more things coming out that are backing up what I have come to believe, that the culture at Wizards is changing. It is changing. You and I have talked to Laura. There's wonderful things that I think are happening there, which I am extremely pleased with. And the Creative Commons is just another good example of that. And that makes this old wizard happy because because that was not good what happened there in sometime in the past. So why are we back to the bunny? It kind of looks like a bunny made of poop. If you
comments are demanding it. So they said need the spider back.
Show spider.
Spider. Yeah. So there you have it. You also can find it in the den. You can look at it as much as you want in the den. Just search Charity Mud.
I guess you could just leave it up there the whole time.
No, we have to finish the social media.
An excellent image.
Yes, I think I have more from him too, because he's been like 3D printing like crazy. But yeah, I did think this is funny.
All kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, being attacked by the cube. The cube swarm.
Be completely cubed.
I kind of think it's adorable.
We have to have a swarm of cubes, Cameraman.
I mean, I think it'd be kind of cute.
Swarm of cubes.
From chapter 2, I think I have a Gooey Cube. Like a small one, a little baby one.
Remember, we're doing. Eventually, we're going to do Alphinius's guide to goos and oozes and slimes and all that stuff. And I want to put some of the spells in there, like Alphinius's gooey finger.
I think that's in Magicka.
Did we actually put it anywhere?
I'm almost positive Alphinius's gooey finger is in Magicka.
I can't believe we did that already.
I will.
I'm so disturbed, cameraman.
I will look it up.
Does anybody know is Alphinius gooey finger in Magicka? Did we actually put it in? I was getting pushed back, as they say.
Jen says, "Keep your gooey finger out of the books." David says, "Yes, it is in Magicka."
Dang it! Well, there's other ones. Okay.
So many puns.
Yes, you can imagine what goes on here at Goo headquarters with that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just thought this was charming with the bear.
Very cute.
Yes.
Very, very
all
cute.
The camouflage.
Yes,
and then the bear.
And then the bear. So much.
See, I think that's cute. That's cute. Meddle not in the affair of dragons, for you are crunchy and good with ketchup, says Star.
Yes, been many times I've seen this one, and it never ceases to put a smile on my face.
Okay, here's the rest of what Joe's been printing. Actually, most of this is just the cubes again. But anyway, check out Joe's post. Joe has a company, and he does like fulfillment for like a bunch of stuff like this. So it's very cool. So yeah, everyone should go check out Joe. And he's a great GM. He GMs for us at GaryCon. He's done online cons. And we're hoping to have him back again. So yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, so Michelle posted this. I think I found a great hat for Lawrence McNabb and the other vets in here. And then Action Surge Wizard is what. It is a great wizard's hat, I gotta say.
Fantastic. Yeah, and Lawrence, I'm sure Lawrence liked it. So.
Okay,
it's madness. I can't believe
it's fine. I'll go into it. Okay, so if you are interested, Nora asked any recommendations for a silly punny one shot. I'm running one on May 11th and thought I'd see what this awesome group recommends. And then there's like a ton of comments in there with like all sorts of recommendations. So if you're looking for something in that vein, just search Nora Wallace in the den or scroll down a little bit. And there's like a bunch of great suggestions in there of little.
I'm telling you, I've not played it, and it's not a GUI product, but I think it's called the Great Wild Sheep Chase, and I have heard really good things about it. So I put that up in there. If anybody has played that or knows of it, and they wanna post something up here in the stream, that'd be great. But also, if you went on there and gave Nora a suggestion, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Did I say Nora's a suggestion?
Nora.
I know. I think I said Nora's a suggestion. You kind of ran it all together there.
Yeah, it happens. Okay, we were supposed to draw the winner for this today. And this is a my bad thing, which was I didn't get the list of people from Lawrence in time to do the winner. So we will post it this week. We will roll the winner. There's also going to be a second winner. But that's going to take a little bit more time since it's going to be judge-based. I mean, you have to pick the name.
Yep, we have to pick the name now.
I might even do two winners that are judged.
I also want to make
the funniest one and the.
Yes, we could do that.
Yeah,
but I also want to make sure everyone knows some of the names that have come in. We had chosen already. We're still going to give the person who, if we choose one that we had done already, we're going to still give that person an award. So we're going to take care of folks here.
Yeah.
But I love this. This has been so much fun, and people have given us so many funny things, Cameramandy.
Yeah, for sure. So, anyway, so we will be doing this down the road. I will keep you guys in the loop. I am sorry.
Just kick the can, Cameramandy, right down the old proverbial
I am taking responsibility for the fact that we're not doing the drawing. I will throw anyone under the bus if I feel like it is not my fault, but this one is actually my fault. So
we know, Cameramandy. Many of us have been thrown under the bus by you.
I know. I'm sorry.
And run over by the rear wheels as well, Cameramandy. Harry, this is magnificent.
Yes. So another personal one, a major villain from his world, he says. But I mean, it could be placed anywhere. Could be placed in any world.
Absolutely.
And you could play this character probably. Although it'd be hard if you're starting him off at lower level, I'd imagine. So, or you can make him
he's a little baby demon.
Yeah, he's a level 1. What if you did have a character that was this buff that was level 1? But like, so he was this buff, but like the rest of his stats were like, he has like no constitution.
They're all dump stats.
Yeah. So his strength is like amazing because he lifts.
Everything else is
he lifts. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just saying, I think that'd be kind of a fun character. Like maybe in like a 1-shot or like a 3-shot or something like that. Because I think it'd get kind of old when you couldn't do anything else.
So yes, Erwan put this up. I mean, these models, I've been to a couple of museums that have some of these models on display that people have built, with the rope, the little tiny threads for ropes and all of this. This is spectacular. Again, wonderful art by magnificent people who are so skilled and take their time, countless hours to make these things. So what a wonderful image. This is the kind of stuff I love in the den. You know that, Cameramandy.
Yeah.
Creativity, art, right? People's passions, things that stir in others, emotions and interest. That is what the den is all about. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
And then there's this, Cameramandy.
The sphere is still on its journey.
There were more. There was more sphere this morning.
Oh, was there?
Yes, there was.
I missed the sphere this morning. Okay. Do you pick up this sphere? You notice another blue sphere. Are you being targeted by the fairy?
Like Snogglewumper poop.
So you don't. Okay.
I'm not picking it up.
Gotcha.
But lots of people would pick it up. Lots of people are saying that they would.
Yeah.
So.
Michelle posted this. I think this is our last. Yeah, it's our last one. Okay, Michelle posted this really touching story. So we work with Tangled Earth Arts. They make the beautiful Gooey Cube necklaces that we give out to people we call Knights of the Goo, which are great community members who've been around for a while and GM'd for us and, done extra work for us. Anyway, all that to say, Michelle posted.
Folks who are magnificent and marvelous and gooey.
Yes. Michelle posted this necklace, and she posted a really touching story about what it meant to her with her father. And I just thought it was a great idea or example of synergy within our community, and how this necklace that Addie made from Tangled Earth Arts really touched Michelle, and just the idea of connection across people yes. online, and how beautiful it can be. So anyway, I just wanted to.
If you haven't had a chance to read this, this is a great post and touching and heartwarming and sad at the same time, and just a wonderful little tale about Michelle and her father's hatred of squirrels.
She once represented forever on a necklace.
Yes. But those are the funny things that we remember, right? That's what to remember about, as time goes by and the pain lessens, right, of loss, when we lost someone, we begin to remember more the happy times, which is a marvelous thing. At least for me, that's what happens. You begin to think about the wonderful times you had with those persons. So they're really, truly not lost. None of us are truly not lost unless we are forgotten. And so let us not be forgotten. Let us always do things to be remembered by, and the good things to be remembered by. Yes, Cameramandy?
Cheers.
Cheers.
And on that note, puzzles.
Puzzles.
All right. I'll start by showing this puzzle. Okay, so I grabbed 2. So this is also from Darkest Dream, I believe. I believe that this appears in both What Gooey Webs and Darkest Dream, because What Gooey Webs is the dungeon from Darkest Dream. Am I
Correct.
okay? Yeah. Okay, so basically, this one you have like a wall of skulls, and there's a riddle and like these symbols above it, and then there's a riddle that goes with it. There's a riddle that goes with it. With it. 5 points set on a wall of stone, a secret there to learn. Listen well of what we speak, the answer to discern. The highest place is day's dark night, her greatness over all. To the east is living death, who heeds this dark lord's call. Below and left, the Sade's delight, her passion burns within. Her sister to the right of her, she brews the deadly sin. From the west, the dark flow runs, the blackest spell is cast. Give due to them their rightful place, or this will be your last. So
I'm pretty proud of that one, Cameramendi.
Yeah, talk us through how you start creating puzzles. What is your thought process? What do you?
So for me, first of all, there are some puzzles that I make that have an obvious single answer, and there's really not a whole lot of option to not have it be. However, I want to put this secret out there right away, because puzzles can ruin games if they are too hard and take too long for people to discern. And excuse me, cameraman. and excuse me, everyone else. And so, if the party comes up with an answer to a puzzle or a riddle that is actually a good answer and appropriate and well thought through, and not one that I necessarily thought of, I will sometimes nudge and give that reward to that party for doing that. So I want to lay that out there right now. Sometimes I will nudge in that regard, because a good answer and a well thought through answer that makes sense in the context of the riddle that you did not take into account, it's not really fair to totally burn the party on those kinds of things. For me, what I begin with puzzles when I'm thinking about puzzles is I do not want them to be so hard that they do interrupt the game flow. All right. But I do want them to be challenging in one way or another. Now, I also want people to understand that there are certain puzzles that I really would prefer that they not actually get the answer to immediately and provide clues later. Right. So what you have to think about for me with puzzles is that I really use them as tools for various things that are going on in the adventure and the tale. All right. So, in this case, I had an artwork created to depict the general nature of the puzzle, which is of course this artwork right here, and then each one of these items, right, need to be placed in the correct location, and if they are not placed in the correct location, then that triggers a bad circumstance. So for me, what I always begin with a puzzle is I try to begin with the answer, and then I back into the puzzle itself. And I often like poetry and rhymes as part of it, because I think it adds entertainment value. And so that was the genesis of this puzzle, which I thought was a pretty good one. I thought it was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So
are you gonna tell them the answer? Are you gonna be a spoiler about it, cameraman?
No.
You're gonna tell them.
I wasn't going to do I don't think it's entertaining for me to do the puzzles on the. I mean, I could, I guess, but.
Well, you have the answers already, cameraman. It's in the GM reference.
Yeah, I do have that. I did keep that up on my screen. I could go pull it up, but I mean, do you want me to?
No, you don't need to. People can look it up if they have it. I like this one a lot too. So.
Yeah. So. There are 5 circular depressions at each point of the star that have been carved into the face of the slab. Hanging from pegs on the right side of the stone are 5 circular brass tokens that appear about the same size as the circular depressions. There are symbols engraved into the face of each token. Words are written at the top of the square device. The tokens are an eclipse, a skull, a river, a potion bottle, and a whip. And so you can see. Yeah, so if you look over here, so here are the 5 things. Now, what I have done before with this puzzle is we printed these out, and then that way it made it easier when we were trying to actually place them where they need to go. Because I'm more of I can't do anything in my mind. I have to physically be moving stuff. So Oops, I'm so sorry. So the puzzle is the laughing skulls doth have the clues without their word. Your way is cursed. Give those of silver their just due, and gain the knowledge in their verse. But one mistake may you now make, a second will bring hordes fall. Choose poorly, and your death shall be. Choose well to have the master's call. Is there a second part of this puzzle that I missed?
No. Well, it's the previous puzzle.
Oh, I see. So this is all one puzzle.
Yes, that was the idea behind it. So it had the two parts.
I see. Oh, so it's a two-part puzzle. I like that.
So they had to go back to the skulls to get the answers, and the answers are what gave them what they had to do to place the things in there. And that was the full puzzle.
Okay. Well, I like the idea of kind of a layered approach to puzzles. So now with that said, you don't always have to have a graphic representation of a puzzle. So there's a different kind of puzzle that you can do, which is something that we've been doing a lot in the Tomb of Annihilation as we've been playing through. And I'm sure that Gooey Cube, like I remember, I mean, we do generally with puzzles, we do tend to provide like art and stuff like that.
Yes.
But not everyone is an artist, and not everyone can generate art. Of course, maybe now you can with the AI, but in the Tomb of Annihilation, one of the places that we went, they had this kind of like checkerboard pattern on the floor, and you had to figure out how to get across the floor. And in all of these, there was like a lot of imagery when you entered this temple. I believe it was a man carrying an alligator, like a man had to carry an alligator on his back. And so the answer to the puzzle, in order to get across the checkerboard, was that someone had to be carrying somebody else across the board. And that was more like trying to trial and error and trying to like come up with an answer, which I did like. And then at the end of the day, Adam did have to kind of push us because we weren't quite getting it. And, he's like, look around the symbology around you. What are you seeing around you? Kind of thing. And so I do think that there are other kinds of puzzles that you could create with just like, what do they call imagination or theater of the mind. Theater of the mind type of stuff. So talk us through how you would create a good like theater of the mind type puzzle.
Well, again, it's not that difficult, right? You just would describe something. I mean, honestly, the puzzles you showed were probably the most complex we've provided, right? Because you had to go back and get the items right and figure out which one went where and all of that kind of stuff. So it was pretty complicated. But simple puzzles, a single line riddle or a couple line riddles with a couple of clues. Like I said, the thing that I always bothers me is if the puzzle is so difficult to discern or to solve that I'm having to provide more and more clues and more hints as the game master, because a lot of times we think as game masters when we're making things up that it's not that hard, but in reality it can be very, very different. What is this comment?
The biggest problem with puzzles is that many players will use intelligence and wisdom as a dumb stat, and if you're trying to play with some realism, they would never figure it out.
Rick, I agree with you. I agree. Now I will give hints based on wisdom and intelligence rolls. I will give hints based on that, which can help push them along, right? Without having it be just obviously you giving them the end. Best part of the puzzle is giving the players the first room one session and then wrapping the session before they get the second. Yes, the amount of time they spend second guessing and trying to solve between sessions is priceless. Yes, I agree. I think to be able to give people a chance to go back and forth. I mean, I remember we had one when I was younger, man, and I was actually playing. I was not a game master. It was Greg's game, and he gave us a whammy. I mean, it was a whammy. There was math involved and all of this stuff. And he stopped right at the puzzle. And we had to go to the next session with all of us calling each other back and forth. And what do you think of this? And all of that stuff. So, and I agree with this. If you're going to throw puzzles at people who are not puzzle people and they don't like them, if they're going to throw riddles at people and they don't really like those riddles, do it judiciously, because this point is very, very well stated. Because there are lots of people who don't want to sit around for an entire gaming session trying to come up with the answer to a single riddle or a single clue. And so, in your mind as the game master, you gotta kind of assess the table, right, and what they're doing. And if you're going to give that table that doesn't really like puzzles a puzzle, make it really easy, right? Let's not be crazy, but make it easy. Make it something that they can get to. Give them opportunities to use their character abilities to get through it, so they're not all tied up for an hour and a half and being bored and not enjoying the session.
I do think
So
it's a good. I think it is a good thing, a good idea to present a puzzle and read the table and see if they're having fun with it or not. Absolutely.
Yes.
And engaged with it. However, with that said, there might be one person at a table who loves puzzles and the rest of the people don't, or two people. And I think it's okay to section those two people off and say, hey, if you're enjoying this, go solve this while you put the other four people or however many people on a different task. Maybe you have while they're trying to solve the puzzle, you have a zombie come out or something like that, and they can be fighting. This side can be fighting the puzzle or fighting the zombie while the other two people are solving the puzzle. Because there are some people who are going to really like a tactile experience or like a brain teaser of some sort. So I think that you can shift. And I mean, I personally would enjoy certain kinds of puzzles. Like I said, like I more like enjoy like if someone has like a prop. They make these like escape room. They make these little. I have one of them. They're like these little crypto things where you have to get a code in order to open them. Like I would really enjoy. I have one over there. Oh, and whenever you buy them, like the code is like "I love you" or something like that because people use them to put their engagement rings in. So you can always open them up. And
you're in the evil necromancer's castle. Yes.
Yeah.
You solve the code. You solve it. It says, "I love you."
Yeah, I know. The one that I bought came with 2 rings, and they were both rings of power from Lord of the Rings of all the things. I mean, you can get them on Amazon for like $20. They're great. Anyway, so if you're trying to like find a code and someone's like really enjoying that side of it, let them have their moment of like having a tactile experience or some kind of brain teaser, and then do something else with the other group. I think that would be perfectly fun, as long as you're able to go back between the two and keep everyone engaged.
Indeed. Any thoughts from the chat on puzzles?
Oh, I have lots of thoughts from the chat on puzzles.
Yeah, throw some up.
So Jen says, with me, I do a lot of wordplay or meanings of names, and I will create materials. Think the escape room letter things or escape rooms, ciphers and letters and ripped out encyclopedia page. And I love this, Jen. Like, this is the kind of thing I put together a couple of years ago. I did this whole witches room where it was like D&D light, because I had a lot of players who'd never played D&D before. So I put together a simplified character sheet for them. And then I set up my entire basement as an escape room. So it was like D&D mixed with an escape room, but all it was solving puzzles. And like what I would do is I would like go buy like props from like, they were all on sale after Halloween or something like that. I bought a bunch of props. And I looked at them and I was like, what can I do with this? How can I make this into a puzzle? And it forced me to get really creative, and it was really fun. So Carrie said, quote, "This is the best game of D&D I ever played." Carrie who writes for us at Gooey Cube. I'm just like,
and I love this stuff too, because it's very obvious from Gooey Cube that visual aids, notes, written clues, torn out pages, scraps of paper. I love all that kind of stuff, and
I do think
that in my games my whole life.
There is power in just passing your player a piece of paper.
Yep,
with something interesting on it.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be elaborate. It can just be something handwritten on a little piece of paper that you pass to one person, and let them, if you have someone at the table who doesn't engage as much, that might be a way to kind of get them, is like, hey, here, you work on this while everybody else is, doing their thing over here. Maybe there's someone who doesn't talk as much at the table. They enjoy more of that internal dialogue stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, let me keep reading comments. Jen also said, use kid toys and thrift stores like Mad Hatter Party Game on Amazon, sticking plastic cups, repaint, or just explain what they represent. Stacking. I'm sorry. There's a lot of pressure when you're reading.
Those sticking plastic cups. That's what happens when you don't wash them, Cameramandy.
Rick says there is also a D&D book on Amazon that is puzzles and traps.
Rick, I've heard about this. I never got it, but I heard there's a couple of them, and of course in the old days
like
they
plug
did
and play, right?
There was Grim, yes, yes, you just plug it in. But the Grim Tooth traps was one of the first, and I think they did three different. I don't know, maybe the chat knows. I think they did 3 different versions. But Grim Tooth traps were lethal. I mean, they were brutal traps. But they had traps and puzzles and things like that were going on. Rick, do you know what the name of the one is that you like?
The Game Masters, he's already answered. Game Masters Books of Traps, Puzzles, and Dungeons by Jeff Ashworth.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
I saw another comment. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Something I've done is multi-stage puzzles. If they struggle through part
Yes.
1 and on that, but if they have fun, take it through the next stages. So I agree with that. But I mean, I will say like there would be some heartbreak as a GM if you worked really hard on a puzzle and you weren't able to present the whole thing to the party. But sometimes them's the breaks. Yeah.
Yes, I got to speak the truth. I have had dungeons where I worked really hard on an entire section of a dungeon that was entirely bypassed by the party. And that is just the breaks. But I often can recycle some of that stuff in the future for other things. So, I never let it totally go to waste.
So the reason this topic came to mind for me was because we were playing Tomb of Annihilation this week, and we were going up this pyramid, and it was interesting to me because in the book, there are a lot of puzzles. They write a ton of puzzles in this book. We've solved a ton of puzzles.
Tomb of Annihilation was that. It was very puzzle-oriented originally.
Yeah. However, we were going up this pyramid, and there was these 3 steps that you had to do in order to get to the top of the pyramid. There was a puzzle there. However, they provided nothing for the players to actually be able to solve the puzzle or to solve it. They had a chewinga demonstrate what we needed to do. So all it was more of an experience. It wasn't like there was no markings on the pyramid where we could go like find some markings and then like figure out the puzzle from there. So it was things like there was a specific flower that you needed to be holding in order to go up the first flight. By the 3rd one, you were supposed to eat a snake. So that way you could slither up this whole path of snakes. And like Adam was game mastering. I was like, Adam, I need to know if that was written in the book or if we're going to get a divorce because that is just so disturbing. I can't handle it. It was written in the book. So I thought it was interesting though that this was written as narrative that you were supposed to feed your players versus something that they could actually like go solve themselves. And so if you did find yourself in a position where you had worked really hard on a puzzle and you weren't able to use it because the players were not enjoying it, that's not to say that you couldn't give it to them through a narrative thing so that way they could see how clever you were in that way.
Yeah, Janelle Jaquays had a couple of great puzzles in Dark Tower and Caverns of Thracia, which were really fun. Again, I've said this many times. Janelle's works in those two adventures in particular were way before her time. What she produced and in those days, and I mean, just so head and shoulders above just about every other adventure that had been published out there. Fantastic. What does this say?
I give the party. Yeah, so and this is what happens when they cannot solve the puzzle. I give the party until they are frustrated, then come out the rolls for closer hints and possible even solving the riddle.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Do not let that table keep going and people get frustrated and start getting bored and just kills the whole mood of the tale, right? Because in the end, that's what it's about. It's about heroes being heroic and doing heroic things, and sometimes things don't go their way. Now, I will tell you also, there are sometimes I've put in puzzles that there were multiple ways to get to the objective, right? And so sometimes you might have to battle your way through if you can't solve the puzzle. So I certainly don't make a situation ever where if the puzzle is not solved, the adventure is ruined, right? Mm-hmm. So that certainly without giving options and ways to get it solved. And as I said before, if they're close or they come up with an answer that's a really good answer that wasn't my answer, I will definitely nudge unequivocally.
Kind of along that point, Jen said, sometimes if they get it wrong, it can lead to another puzzle that is a different type of puzzle instead of failing. So like you fall in a cave and have to solve it to get where they would have if they passed. So
very good.
So it's they got the wrong answer. The floor caves in. You're now in a new place. And, some of that is obviously going to involve some improv. But I think it could be a lot of fun. So
yeah. So chat, listen, are you enjoying this dialogue, this discussion of puzzles? This is yes, sir. That's right. You fail the puzzle, you take the bad path. That's exactly right.
Namastacy's Moongate Sands adventure is also cool that way and is a good one to throw puzzles into. Also, side note on this, Namastacy just launched another Kickstarter, so I want to make sure people are aware of that. So it's a much smaller Kickstarter for a dice rolling game, but just want to give her a little shout out there. So Brandy says White Plume Mountain has some good puzzles.
Really does.
Oh, this is a great suggestion from Jen. Steal mechanics and fun from video games and TV shows. 100% agree with that.
There was a great puzzle on Gilligan's Island long ago.
What was that?
I'm just making that up.
Oh, okay. Tell me about it.
They were really trying to get off the island. Oh yes, that's right. They did that every episode.
This is a good suggestion from Porthalis. Make the puzzle room an extra thing and not a bottleneck to keep you from going forward in the dungeon. So put it on a side room that doesn't necessarily need, like, I mean, maybe if they solve it, there's like treasure of some sort behind it,
or just a bonus, right? They're trying to figure out something that's going on in the overarching adventure, and this would have been an extra good clue that might have provided them more information that they don't get because they don't solve the puzzle. I have done that before as well, and that does. I got to tell you, Cameraman, when they don't actually get to so people have said this to me. So in the darkest dream, there is a door. There is a door that you cannot get through. We've already told the game master it's going to come back and be a part of chapter 6. We've already told them. And they can't get through this door. And I have had more than a few people email me and say, we've never had this before where there was a door that they couldn't get through. And it's driving my players crazy.
Fair enough.
So, but everything doesn't always work out perfectly just the way you want it to, just because you're the heroes of the tale. As we know, there's been terrible things happen to you.
It depends on the game master.
Well, this is true. This is very true.
Patrick says, if you're evil, set up a puzzle and reveal that the door was already unlocked from a prior adventure when they solved it.
Yes.
Oh, all you had to do was turn the doorknob. Yep. Wisco says, true, dungeon can be another great place to get ideas.
Yes, and they do a great job.
Yes. So yeah, no, ultimately, I think that we're getting a lot of good suggestions.
Everybody's liking this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They said in the chat that they were.
Because maybe we could do a traps one. I'd love to talk about traps. And talk about utilization of traps and how they can be really part of the adventure, not just something you throw at them to take damage. Because again, the game is really about resource depletion, right? And the more the resources are depleted, the more intense the game becomes, because when they're all out of spells and they're all out of healing and they're in a place where they don't know how to get out, right? This is when it becomes the most intense. And that's one of the reasons why I don't care too much for the short rest and, fight a monster, take a rest, fight a monster, take a rest, right? I don't care for that because the game is so much about, now you still resource deplete with short rests. Yes, I agree with that, Cassius. They're basically puzzles, but deadlier. And oftentimes not necessarily something that the party needs to solve to move on, right? It's just something that afflicts them, right, when they're going through. Yes. So yes, that's right. I agree with that, Jeff.
Traps illustrate the intelligence of the adversary. Detailed traps could mean a tough enemy.
Yes. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's plan on a traps discussion. And we can do a follow on with this and actually do some analysis of some good puzzles if folks would like that. I thought this was a great idea when Cameron Mendy came up with it, and was excited to have this little discussion. But we could actually talk about some really cool puzzles if folks would like to go deeper onto these things. But we just need to know. You just got to tell us if that sounds great. Let us know. I definitely think folks would like traps. I think we could even bust out some of the old Grim Tooths and we could show them, take pictures of the PDFs and others. Perhaps even I don't have that book that Rick noted.
I was going to say that we could probably pick that up.
Maybe we need to get to get that. So give Jeff Ashworth a little bit of love, which would be marvelous.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay. I think when players are upset at hitting trap after trap, it is therapeutic to have them surprise the trap maker. Revenge is sweet in the game.
Yes. Well done, Chris. So, Cameron Mendy, are we going to give everybody an extra entry since
entry into what?
Into the next giveaway that I'm going to do that you tell me don't get.
Okay, sure. I don't know what this giveaway is going to be for, but we can do entries. So hashtag.
Since we didn't do the drawing.
Hashtag stuff. Just put hashtag stuff in.
and you'll get an entry into the next giveaway, whatever it is.
That we don't know.
That we don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, but okay. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up though, because I have all these kids in my life. I have a kid's birthday party I have to get to. I'm already like an hour late for. So, happy birthday to Zandalee, my niece. Okay. With that said, go do the caption contest.
Yes, do the caption contest, please.
Guys, it is
them in the
hilarious.
Den, right? Yeah. Post them in the Den, or if in the Discord, if you want to post them there, we'll find them. Just make sure you tag Camera Mendy or me or Lawrence or all of us, just so we don't miss one. And you certainly can email them, but people are having fun with it and making people laugh, so that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Okay. Much love to you all. Thank you all so much for joining us. It was funicular.
Funicular, yes.
Did I say that right? Let me look up I can't remember what the definition
of
that
and listen, while you're doing this, Camera Mendy, I really want everyone to know we have more to report on this St. Louis issue with the Fae.
Of course.
And so, in fact, like I said, just grab that one. Come on, Camera Mendy, be fast. Grab that.
Which one?
Grab that the one I put up today with Ms. Goo talking to Gladtha.
When did you post that?
It's just went up in the Gooey Game Masters Den about an hour ago.
Okay, yes. I got it.
So yes, so grab that one real quick, and we'll just close with this. So my friends, so what happened was you have to zoom in now, Camera Mendy. Yes, can you zoom in? Very good. Yes. So Gladtha is a little fairy that came about, and Ms. Goo. By the way, Camera Mendy, there's another thing. If you note to the left of Ms. Goo, we have noticed many snails running around here.
Escargoo's cousins.
And I am worried that these evil Fae are in league with Escargoo. Yes, I think they are in league. So we are delving deep into this to try to figure it out. But anyway, Gladtha gave Ms. Goo a number of key bits of information.
Okay.
And we are going to now do some other explorations, and we will provide further information. However, I know for a fact, because we saw it on top of the Tums building, which Ms. Goo said was Tums, but I said it was not.
Okay, it's just Tums. Okay,
just Tums.
No apostrophe.
Tum. They even see, Camera Mendy, you can see the nefariousness even in their little jingle, right? Tums. Right? Doesn't that have an intense and dirty, dark ring to it? Yes, everyone knows Tums. Yes.
Jen as the fairy is like, my Gooey PC is so annoyed right now. I agree with you, Jen.
Now, Jen, I am not saying that all the Fae here are evil. It is a group of evil Faerie.
Are you saying that this Fae in this picture is evil or not?
They're in danger. There are many Faerie that are in danger. But as you could see on the top of the Tums building, right? On the top of the Tums building, in that image, there were at least 2 trolls. Yes. We have seen evidence of them. Footprints, all kinds of things going on around here. Yes. I knew it. See, I knew it. I knew it.
Okay, we're going to head out.
On that, we're going to get rid of the smut. My friends, thank you all. You are marvelous. We have such a wonderful time with you on Saturdays. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the puzzles and the goofy stuff that's going on in St. Louis. And we do our best to at least bring some joy to our friends. And thank you for bringing joy to our lives. Yes.
On that note, funicular, a type of cable railway system that connects points along a railway track laid on a steep slope. So,
a funicular. Never forget that now, friends. In fact, Camera Mendy, we need to put a funicular in one of our adventures.
Blueport or something. I think there is one. Okay.
If there's not, it could easily be added.
Yes. Okay.
You have to tell Carrie.
I'll let her know. She won't be annoyed at me at all.
No, not at all.
We'll have one of these with me and Carrie. You can't add more to Goo Morning.
All right, my friends, have a wonderful day. We will go out and explore more in St. Louis. You have a great time at your little party, Camera Mendy, and we will see you all next week, and see you certainly in the Discord and the Gooey Den.
Absolutely.
Bye now.
May all your adventures be sticky.
Yes, I'm trying to make my hand show up, but it's really just kind of weird with this background. Look, I'm missing fingers.
Okay.
Not a finger. Bye.